BGP dampening, BGP route dampening. What it is actually? Well, let's say we have multiple gateways to reach some destination, and one of the gateway has got, let's say, shortest AS path. So BGP is going to point towards the shortest AS path because you have not configured local preference. Local preference is a tie, wait is a tie, and there is no local origin. Both are valid next hop. So AS path is the tiebreaker. So obviously the router will pick only the path whose AS jumps are smaller, less. But the problem here is that particular path which has got shortest AS path is a flapping path. It's not a steady path. It flaps very often. If it flaps very often, what will happen? It will be a disruptive one. BGP is going to say this is the best route. But after some time, because of the flap, BGP will say, no, this is not best. Again, after some time, it will say that this is the best. Again, not best. See, this is not EIGRP or OSPF, it's BGP. Every time it flaps like this, big amount of route updates with all its attributes need to be sent and pruned because it is flapping. And another neighbor will send the next better path. Another neighbor will become the next hop. The routes of the neighbors are already there in the BGP table, but meaning the process happens to go through the next better path. In few seconds, the previous path comes back and say, I'm the best. Take my update. Here is the update. See, I'm the shortest AS path. This is going to kill the CPU of your router. So now we have to identify such routes, and we need to allow such neighbor and its neighbor's route to be considered only after thoroughly verifying, checking that it has become stable. Repeating again. We cannot encourage this flapping route. We need to identify the flapping route, and we need to stop that flapping neighbor or flapping route, giving routes till it becomes stable. So we need to configure something in BGP so that it will not simply learn neighbors every time. It will not simply learn routes every time the flap comes back, flap goes down and up and down. Don't take hasty decision, BGP. Wait. It has come back. But don't be rush. Wait. It may go down again. Wait. More wait. Okay, now you can accept. So you set that wait time. You make BGP to hold on, wait. Don't immediately accept him. Analyze. Make sure he never flaps anymore. Hold him. All right. Now, when you're happy, when you're satisfied, accept. This is going to really help routers from wasting CPUs. Let us read what this guy has written. Someone has written in forum, I copied it. BGP route dampening is a way to suppress flapping route so that they are suppressed instead of being advertised. An unstable network can cause routes to flap, which can cause other BGP routers in the network to consistently reconverge. Wonderful. This wastage of CPU cycles, this wastes valuable CPU cycles and can cause severe problem in the network. Hence, as a best practice, service providers use route dampening regularly. True. This concept is actually a service provider track concept. So, how this is achieved? How BGP dampening works? Actually, enabling BGP dampening is one single line command. Only one single line command. When you do that, what happens? There is going to be a value called penalty. And there is going to be a value called max suppress limit. There is going to be a value called history. There is also a few more values. I'm trying to see whether it is mentioned here. Okay, first let us see what they have given here. Penalty. So every time flaps, it gives penalty of 1,000 to that route. I told you, there is one route which has got shortest AS path, but it has flapped once. Immediately for that route, penalty is given 1,000. See, penalty is not going to impact immediately. When someone does repeatedly mistake, then only we fire him. If once someone does mistake, it's okay. Everyone does mistake. I do mistake. It's okay. So he has done. It's okay. But I have kept my eye on you. Next time, if it repeats, I cannot tolerate. That is the behavior of BGP dampening. Meaning 2,000 penalty is bad. 1,000, it's okay. So each time it flaps, penalty of 1,000 is given. But this 1,000 will not be staying like that forever for that route. It will keep decrementing. Penalty will decrement. It keeps decrementing like 1,000, 999, 998. It keeps decrementing like a clock ticking. But if it reaches 2000 or more, which means very frequent flap, correct? No? See, when it is flapped once and that 1000 is given, but for every second it decrements. It decrements. Now, even if it flaps after a few seconds, it is not going to become 2000. It's going to be like 1900 or 1800 or 1600. If it again flaps, then it is very severe flap. Very often loose connection, like that. That is serious issue. So the route is considered to have flapped when we receive a withdraw and then update from a route. Yeah, every time flaps, we receive a withdraw message. And then a new update message will come. This is going to kill process. If we drop and resign other adjacency with BGP peer, we do not assign penalty to road learn. This confusing term. Okay, I'll explain you from some other document. Now let's go to the second and third paragraph. Maximum suppress limit. The longest amount of time the route can be suppressed. The default is 4 times of half lifetime. See, they have not explained what is half lifetime. That is what I was searching for earlier. After 15 minutes, whatever the penalty is remaining, it will reduce it to half. After 15 minutes, if penalty is 500, it will go to 250. So better explanation, I would like to use another document from our Cisco and I'll share with you. But let's finish this. What is history? An entry used to store flap information for the purpose of monitoring and calculating the level of oscillation of route. It is important to store oscillation information in the router. When the router stabilizes, the history entry will become useless and will flush from the router. Okay, anyway. So I said, there is going to be a history. Only when there is history, the half lifetime is possible. It keeps track. Okay, first flap 1000, second flap another 1000, third flap another 1000. So when the flap is recovered, it should recover faster. So after 15 minutes, it will bring down the penalty value to half. So that it can easily come down and the route can be used. Route dampening in BGP feature designed to minimize the propagation of flapping routes across the internet. So when I'm learning route, which is already flapping, me using it itself is bad. Me giving that to another neighbor is too bad. Route dampening is a BGP feature designed to minimize the propagation of flapping routes across internet. So we are not going to propagate the flapping routes until it stabilizes. The route is considered to be flapping when its availability alternates repeatedly. Goes via the left, after some time goes via the right, goes via the left, goes via the right, left, right, left, right, left. This is what alternate repeatedly. For example, consider a network with three BGP autonomous systems. Autonomous system 1, 2, 3. Suppose the route to a network A is in autonomous system 1 flaps, meaning it becomes unavailable. Under circumstances without route dampening, EBGP neighbor will the EBGP neighbor of autonomous system 1 to autonomous system 2 sends the withdrawal message to autonomous system 2. The border router in the autonomous system 2 in turn propagates the withdrawal message to 3. When the route to network A reappears, the autonomous system 1 sends the advertisement message to 2 and 2 will be sending to 3. If the route to the network A repeatedly becomes unavailable, then many withdrawals and advertisement messages are sent. This problem is an inter-network connected to internet becomes route flap. The network backbone usually involves many routes. Yes, of course. So let me draw and show you what they say. See, they were talking about two autonomous systems. Autonomous system 1, autonomous system 2, autonomous system 3. It can be connected like this. So, autonomous system 1 is receiving an update, but the update that is coming in this direction is not steady. It advertised, it also got redistributed to autonomous system 2. 2 is advertised to 3, and so forth. After all autonomous system learned about this alpha network, it is learned in all the autonomous system. Now the link flaps. The neighbor who gave the route is no more a neighbor. So router 1 will, autonomous system 1 will immediately send a withdrawal message. And now this neighbor comes up, the links comes up, the route comes back. Again the advertisement. Again flaps, withdrawal. See, it's not only it's not impacting only the local autonomous system, it impacts all the downstreams. Now, this router itself can control this. If I enable dampening here, this router won't advertise it when the flap occurs very frequently. If the penalty has reached 2000 for this neighbor, the route given by the neighbor, the route learned from that neighbor will be suppressed. Till when? Not simply withdrawing, advertising, no. Till when it will be suppressed? Till it is found stable. For that we need to enable tampering. So this much I have covered so far. Is this clear so far? Whatever I have highlighted, is this clear? Now let us move on to the timers and so on, how BGP dampening can do this. Route dampening minimizes route flapping. That we know how it minimizes route flapping. When you suppress the route after the penalty is met, the suppress penalty is met 2000, we suppress it until the penalty goes down, till we find that the route is stable. So route flapping is minimized by route dampening. We don't simply advertise and then withdraw, advertise and withdraw. That is what flapping means. Route damping feature minimizes the flapping problem as follows. How? Suppose again the route to a network flaps. The router in autonomous system 2, where the dampening is enabled. Okay, here they have enabled dampening in this second autonomous system. So assume the route is coming from autonomous system 1 now. I was sending from autonomous system 0 somewhere here, but now according to the document they are sending a route from this autonomous system 1. But there is a flap here. Dampening is enabled in autonomous system 2. Let me read. Suppose again the route in the autonomous system 2, the router in the autonomous system 2, where the route dampening is enabled, assigns network a penalty of 1000. See, when a flap happens, immediately it gives penalty of 1000 to that prefix, to that network. And it remembers that I have given penalty of 1000 to a network in history. The router in the autonomous system 2 continue to advertise the status of the route to the neighbor. The penalties are cumulative. When the route flaps so often, then the penalty exceeds the configurable suppress limit. The route stops advertising the route to network A, regardless of how many times it flaps. Thus, the route is dampened. So let me repeat what they are saying. They say when a flap happens 1000, penalty is given to the prefix, but it keeps advertising. It remembers that I have given penalty because it has flapped once. Maybe it's okay once, but if the flap keep on happening, when the route flaps so often, keep on flapping, then the penalty will exceed the suppress limit. I told you the default suppress limit is 2000. I'm telling you this is default. You remember I told you configuring BGP dampening is one line command. When you put that simple command BGP dampening, boom, that's all. Automatically the timer and all will give it. What timer? Max the suppress limit is 2000. All other timings which we are going to see now will be given. But if you want to have a customized suppress limit, like I don't want 2000, I want 8000, then you can configure it. That is also on the same line. It is only one line configuration. When route flaps, often the penalty exceeds the configurable suppress limit. If you don't configure also, it is okay. The default is 2000. So once it reaches that suppress limit, 2000 or above, the route stops advertising the route to network A, regardless of how many times it flaps. It will keep the route in dampening state. I'm no more going to advertise this network. I'm going to just hold it for some time till it becomes stable. That's what called as dampening. The penalty placed on the network A is a decade. That's what I told you. It's like a countdown timer. It'll keep ticking down. If penalty is 4,000, because 4 times flapped, it won't remain 4,000 forever. 399, 398, 3. It keeps ticking down. Decay. Until when? Until it reaches the reuse limit. You know what is the reuse limit? 750. 750 is the reuse limit. So it has to decay until it comes to the reuse limit. Once it reaches 2000, it is going to dampen state. When it will be reused, say for example, 3 times flapped. So it has reached somewhere around 2800. Because there is a gap between every flap and there was a decay in between. So 2800 when 3 flap happened. After that there was no flap. But problem is once it reaches 2000 it will be dampened. How long? Until it reaches the reuse limit. What is the reuse limit? 750. Will there be any discount? Yes. That is what half lifetime should come. We'll talk about the half lifetime in some time. So that it is ticking down, decaying. It might have reached only 2250. When half lifetime reached, immediately it will go to half of it. 1050 it will go. And then again it will decay till it goes to 750. So is this thing clear for you? Yes, Shekji. 750 is a penalty value, sir. It is neither a second or minute. It is a numerical value, fine amount. Yeah, not on the routing table. BGP table you can see suppressed. You will see small d, dampened, small d. Yep. Yeah, immediately. No, decay timer will not expire. The decay the decay happens. It won't reach zero. As soon as it reaches 750, it can be reused. Hmm. Correct. So when it reaches 750, that history of that A will be forgotten, and everything will be as normal now, as usual. Now let us go back to the document. BGP route dampening term. The following terms are used when describing route dampening. Flap. What is flap? A route whose availability alternates repeatedly. Going and coming in, going and coming, going and coming. History state. After a route flaps one, it is assigned a penalty and put it into history state, meaning the route does not have to be the best path based on the history information. Penalty. Each time the route flaps, the router configured for route dampening in another autonomous system assigns the route a penalty of 1000. So route is coming from autonomous system 1, but it is flapping, so autonomous system 2 gives penalty of 1000. Penalties are cumulative. Penalties for the routes are stored in BGP routing table. BGP routing table, not in normal routing table. You will see small d, you will see small h. H means what you know? History, still not dampened. Still it has not reached the threshold, what our friend said, threshold. Still it has not reached 2000, that suppress value. That's called suppress limit. It has not reached 2000. So you will have H history. If you'll see D, which means dampened, it has reached the threshold. So penalty, okay. The penalty for a route is stored in BGP routing table until the penalty exceeds the suppressed limit. At that point, the route state changes from history to dampened when it exceeds history to H to D. Dampened state. In this state, the routes have flapped so often that the router will not advertise the route to BGP neighbors. Next, suppress limit. The route is suppressed when its penalty exceeds this limit. The default is 2000, but you can increase or decrease. Now, let's go to something interesting. Half-life. What does it mean? Once the route has been assigned a penalty, the penalty decreased by half after half period, which is 15 minutes by default. See, if it is too much flapping, maybe it might have reached even 8,000, 9,000, and the clock to decay, it will take a long time. See, after flapping very often, it might have become stable later. Very stable. But already the timer has increased like up to 12,000, let's say. When it will come to 750, oh my god, you can't wait for that long when the link is stable. So what happens after waiting 15 minutes, it will reduce whatever the penalty, it will reduce to half. If the penalty is 5,000, it will reduce to 2,500. If the penalty is 1,000, it will reduce to 500, and immediately it can be used. Why? The reuse limit is 500. Sorry, 750. The reuse limit is 750. So half-life is a grace upon the flapped route. Grace shown to the flapping route. The process of reducing the penalty happens every 5 seconds. It's not every second. Every 5 seconds, the penalty getting reduced. I say no. 3,000, 299, 298. It's not every second, it is every 5 seconds. That is why this is more important for us. Because every 5 seconds it decrements, and if your penalty is 12,000, it will take very long time to come to reuse limit. Fine, let us go back. Reuse limit. As the penalty for flapping route decreases and fall below this reuse limit, the route is unsuppressed. It's called as reuse limit. That is, the route is added back to BGP table, and once again it will be used for forwarding as well as it will be advertised. By default, the reuse limit is 750. The process of unsuppressing the route occurs at a 10-second increment. The process of unsuppress occurs at 10-second increment. So it takes 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds, the route finds out which route are now unsuppressed and advertise them to the rest of the world. So every 10 seconds, it will check whether the routes have reached 750. The suppressed route have reached 750. Now, maximum suppress limit. The value is maximum amount of time a route can be suppressed. This value is the maximum amount of time a route can be suppressed. The default value is 4 times of the half-life. Half-life is 750, I say. 750 multiplied by 4 is 3000. Yep, correct. 4 times of half-life is the maximum suppress limit. The route external to autonomous system learned via IBGP or not dampened. It's only for eBGP. See, that's why this is not an enterprises topic, this is a service provider topic. Right? So when you come to service provider track, we'll see once again this one. Like this, there are a lot of other topics like service provider topic. I'll give you another topic, backdoor. Backdoor is like administrative distance. Using administrative distance, we play some magic. EIGRP administrative distance is 90. EBGP is only 20. But when I configure backdoor for an EBGP neighbor, the 20 will become 200. So that EIGRP will be preferred over EBGP. Make up. I'm repeating again. What is backdoor? So you have a route via EIGRP, which is the best route. You also have a route via EBGP, which is very long route. Which route the router will take? The one with the lowest administrative distance. EBGP is only 20, EIGRP is 90. So it will go via EBGP route. I told you EBGP route is a long route. Now, what can I do? I just enable backdoor for that EBGP neighbor so that that route learned from that EBGP neighbor will be 200 administrative distance. So that EIGRP route will be preferred. That's all. I don't want to spend much time on that. You can do a research if you need later. It won't be that important for you when you are in enterprises. It's only between multiple ISPs. So this is, as I said, it's only one line command. One line command. Hold on a minute. Let's see any configuration command is available. It's only one line command. BGP dampening configuration. Yeah, that's all. BGP dampening, that's it. Just one line command. BGP dampening, where you do under the address family. These things are all optional. You don't need to give. You don't need to give those timers. We already learned those timers. 2000, half-life time is 750. See? You can optionally say these things. Half-life time is actually 750. Reuse. Sorry, half-life time is 15 minutes. Here they have made it as 30 minutes. Reuse is 750. Here they have made it as double, 1500. Suppress, actually it is 2000. They have made it as 10,000. Maximum suppressed time is actually 4 times of reuse. Is it correct? No. 4 times of half-life time. Half-life time is 15. Maximum suppress 4 times of 15 minutes is 60 seconds. 1 hour. They have made it as 2 hours. They simply doubled it. See, while I was explaining from the document, I was saying wrong for this maximum suppressed time. It is 4 times of not reuse, half-life. Half-life is 15 seconds. Sorry, 15 minutes. 4 times of half-life is 1 hour. The default maximum suppressed time is 1 hour. But here they made 120. Which is 4 times of half-life, 30 minutes. Right, only this much is what going to enable BGP dampening. That's it. Let's see. Let me take this. We are using this community lab to test dampening. We are going to flap this 11, 11, 11, 11, 77, 77, 77, 77. One of this. Okay, let's take 77, 70. This is what we are going to flap, and you are going to see the history and the suppress on router 2 and router 3 where we are going to enable dampening. And we'll go and check on R4. If you have dampening enabled, it won't advertise till it's stabilized. Till the flapping stops and gets stabilized. Right, so you know what to verify? Let's go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flap before dampening. I'm going to show you the impact. Show IP route BGP. Wait for the routes to come. Also, I'll go to router 3 and type show IP route BGP. And also on R4, show IP route BGP. Let's wait. You remember we enabled this community and all of this in previous class. Here on R4 we can see that route 77 has come. Let's go on flap. On router 1, if you see show IP interface brief, I have 77 on loopback 1 interface, loopback 1 shutdown. Now let's go and check it on R4. It's gone. And I'm bringing it up. It will come back again. See, it has come back again. Again, I'm shutting down. This is shut down. Yes. It is down, but still it is there. It is very bad. Poor convergence. What? Did I say shut down? Yes, I did. Okay, it's gone. And now shut down. It's going to come back. See, I'm doing this shutting down and flapping. And it is going to come very quick. It's as soon as the convergence happens. But though BGP is slower, but still it is going to be a disruptive one because it's not simple. Network is advertised, attributes and all getting advertised. So the amount of bandwidth consumed, the process consumed on the receiving autonomous systems are going to be very high. We need to reduce it. We want R4 to learn only after the flapping is completely fixed. For that, we need to enable dampening. So let's go router 2, router BGP 20, BGP dampening. Boom. That's it. You don't need to even do under the address family in iOS. You can do straight away in here. And also, I'll go to router 3 and type router BGP 20, BGP dampening. Okay, show BGP, show IP BGP summary. Okay, sorry, show IP BGP. There is no history. See, there is no history. There is no dampened. There is no suppressed mentioned here. You have only star. Show IP BGP dampening. Dampening parameters. Dampening reconfiguration has been. Oh yeah, it will take some time. I just now enabled it. It will come up now. Dampening will take some time. Okay. As soon as you configure, you will not see the output. Show IP BGP dampening parameters. Okay, now it has come. As I was telling you, the default penalty is 2000. The maximum suppressed penalty is 12,000. This was not spoken in the document, but I was telling, it has reached the maximum 9,000, 12,000. I said that word 12,000. That's the maximum. And then the half-life time is 15. Maximum suppress time is 4 times of half-life time, which is 1 hour. Decay is after every 5 seconds. But this is something else. But we saw the decay, every tick down, drop down happens 5 seconds. We saw in the document. So this is reuse penalty 750. Now, you can also check the same on R3. Earlier it was saying it is in process, but now it should show you. Okay, BGP dampening is enabled. Now I would like to show some other commands. BGP dampening, dampen the path. There is no path dampened. Show BGP dampening flap state. Nothing so far. Let us move on to router 1 and flap. Router 1, shut down. And now going back to router 2 and 3. 2, sorry, on 3 we have all those commands. Yeah, 3 has put it in history. I'm going to bring it back. See, 3 has put it in history. That 77 flapped from here. 1 flap from autonomous system 10. It has not dampened it because it didn't reach 2000. Yep, now let's go to the BGP table, show IP BGP. So here, nothing. You see only in this flap status. Let us also check it on R2. Show IP BGP. Show IP BGP dampening flap status. You can see that. And I want to show you the timer. drop down, but in iOS we don't. I think we don't have the command. Oh, it is there. Let's check. For network 77. Here we see flap and duration one. It's already in use. Okay, it is already in use. Router 4 should be having route. It already has the route. So this is not the one which I'm actually interested in showing. I want to show you the 2000 timer. In iOS XR, there was one nice command. I don't see such commands here. It'll show you how much the decay has happened and so on. So anyway, let's flap again. And now on R3, I would like to show you again. 2 times flap happened. Still it is in history. It didn't go to the dampened state because the decay was happening while I was talking for a long time. Okay, it is right now in history. Still, it has not reached the maximum threshold. So the route should be available. Oh, I didn't say no shutdown. No? That's why I have to say no shutdown. See, it didn't remove the route from router 2 and 3. It has put it in history, saying it may come back. Okay, it has come back. It has come back, but so far 2 times flap has happened. And now R4 should be having the route. Let's flap one more time. I'm expecting this time it will dampen. History, no shut. See, dampened. Even though I said no shutdown, it says I'm not going to use because he has exceeded limit. Dampen. And now on our R4, I should not see the route. I will not see the route until that it goes down to reuse limit. But those things I'm unable to show you here. Show IP BGP. Let me see whether I can see it here in this command 77. Anything about timers and dampening? No. Oh, I'm checking on wrong router. Sorry. Okay, yeah, look at this. This is the one. The penalty is now 2554. So, because it has flapped 3 times, can't be used. Even though it is up, the interface is up, you see, show IP, BGP. This is advertising. But 3 times flap has happened. So router 3 is very angry. And router 2 is also very, 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 very angry. That's why they have put it in dampened state. Not advertised to any peer. Suppressed due to dampening. So you have to wait for a long time actually. Reuse is only after 4 minutes now. 3 minutes 39 seconds. See, it is decaying. 437 and 427. Yep, decays.